So today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this natural airbrush look using all of the little pieces from my essentials videos. So if you're unfamiliar with those, you might want to check those out before you watch this one because it's going to be everything put together. So if you're interested, keep watching.
So the first thing you want to do is prep. What I like to use is a face primer, an eyeshadow primer, and an under eye primer. Then the next thing you want to do is go ahead and apply concealer. I like to do this with a concealer brush, and you just want to go over all those problem areas. And once you're done tapping that concealer on the problem areas, you just want to go ahead and blend them out. Now when you're doing the under eye area, I like to just go in, dab my fingers in the concealer, and then just get as close as I can to my waterline. Just because it's a sensitive area, I don't want to use my brush there. So once you're done with your concealing, the next step is optional, but I like to conceal with my airbrush makeup. Now I like to use a shade darker just to kind of even my skin tone underneath, like for example the area above my eyebrows and a little bit around my cheeks, a little bit around my nose, just kind of have that even canvas before I start with my air foundation. Now it's time for your foundation. So you just want to make sure you shake up your makeup really good. Make sure those mixing balls are moving around. And then you want to add anywhere between 6 to 10 drops. I like to start with 6. Sometimes I'll use 8. I never use more than 10, but you're free to use as much as you need to get the coverage that you want. Then you want to just spray in small circular motions. Now it's really important to do small circular motions layer by layer around the face. This just ensures that you get that nice even coverage. Now you can do as many passes as you need to get the coverage that you want. But just do them using that small circular motion, because if you try to do one area of your face at a time, chances are you're going to get some dark spots and uneven spots to your skin, and you don't want that. You just want to make sure to cover all the areas that correspond to the face. Areas like your jaw, underneath your chin, your neck, and your chest. And don't forget about your ears. Your ears, I kind of see that being left out a lot, and it's very important because it is what ties the whole natural looking complexion together. Now you just want to do your blush. Now you want to make sure you shake it up. You can add anywhere between 1 to 2 drops. I find any more than that is way too much. And then you just want to test it out on a tissue, make sure the spray is correct. Then you just want to smile. Smiling will expose the apples of your cheeks, and then you just want to take those small circular motions around the apples of your cheeks, dragging that circular motion back to the top of your ear. That'll give you the full blushed line. Now me personally, I don't like to be blushed too much, but if you want more blush, just go ahead and continue adding more passes on each side, following that same circular motion and dragging it back. Now on to my favorite part, air shadow. So today I'm going to be using a dark color on the outer corner and then just a lighter color on the inner, adding a little bit of shimmer. So for my dark color, I just want to take about 1 drop of that, test it out on a tissue, and then I just want to take my shadow shield because it's going to help me, protect my foundation from any overspray. And then I just want to go out just slightly. You never want to go out past where your eyebrow ends. You want to keep it inside. Then you want to make sure to wipe your shadow shield and do the other side. I find it's best to go back and forth just because it ensures that you get it even on both sides. Now, even to the best of your ability, of course. Whether or not it's perfectly even and precise, I will never know. This is just the way that I do it. So once you finish with that initial outline, you just want to go ahead and start shading. Now you can shade in like a C motion, just lightly pulling back the lever, only letting little bits out at a time. That's how I prefer to do it. If you have a different way of doing it that works better for you, feel free to do that. This is just a little thing that I like to do just to fill in that area around, because we're going to be putting different shadows on top of other ones. And the great thing about air shadow is just the fact that it's so buildable and you can just blend all these colors together. I love it so much. So if you haven't tried doing your eyeshadow, or if you're having a hard time with it, just stick with it and keep practicing, because it does take a lot of practice, but once you get it, I'm telling you, you're going to love the end result. It's so much fun to do, which is why I take the time to do it every day. and which is why I even tried to learn to get better at it. So just stick with it, you'll get good at it, and you'll start being able to achieve the looks that you want. Now the next color I used to get this natural looking shadow was just a foundation shade actually. It's lighter than my original foundation shade, and I find that it creates a really good base for that shimmer color that's going to go on top, just so I don't have too much shimmer. So you just want to do what we did with the other ones. You always want to shake up your makeup, test it on a tissue. Now with eyeshadow, I don't think I mentioned this before, but it's in my essentials video. When you are doing your eyeshadow, you can be anywhere from 9 o'clock up to 12. Sometimes I like to do mine at 12 o'clock, but I like to stay in the middle at about 10 o'clock when I'm doing my shadow. It's just a little bit easier on the eyes. So where I'm spraying it, if you haven't seen already, is just right in the inner corner going to the outer, maybe about halfway before you hit the outer corner of your eyelid. And then I'm also going to be using it as a highlighter, and then sometimes if I have some extra, I like to just go ahead and highlight above my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose. Pretty much any area where you know that light is going to focus is where you want to highlight. The next shade we're going to apply is a shimmer shade, and you just want to make sure you shake up your makeup really good. If it ever gets stuck, just pinch the bottom and shake it up, and that should loosen up the mixing balls in the makeup so that the makeup mixes correctly. Then you want to just add 1 drop to your compressor, test it out on a tissue, and right now what I'm doing is just covering or airbrushing over the area where I put that foundation color, just to add that little pop of shimmer. It kind of brightens the eyes and just makes them look a little more brighter, which I like to do. And then I also like to add a little bit in the tear duct, and then add it over the highlight, and then over my cheeks, just because it adds that shimmer aspect. Now the next thing you want to do is your airliner. I did a video on this in my essentials, so if you're unfamiliar with airliner, you might want to check out that one. It shows you the different ways to utilize all the stencils that you can find. So you just want to take about 1 drop. Sometimes I need 2 for thicker lines, but I think today I'm just going to go for the natural look, so I only need about 1 drop. And then test it out on a tissue. Of course, you want to make sure that it's spraying correctly. And I like to use a shadow shield just to avoid the overspray. Now the type of liner I'm doing today is one that I did talk about in my video, but I didn't show, and that's just spraying through the lashes. When you spray through the lashes, it actually lines both the top and lower lash line, which is really good because it kind of defines your eye line, which is really nice for this look because we don't want it to be overlined just because we're going for that more natural look. Now we can't forget about our eyebrows, so what I like to do after airbrushing my makeup is just to take a spoolie brush and go over it just to get any pigments that might be left from my airbrush makeup. And then what I use is Anastasia of Beverly Hills, her brow duo, and I believe the brunette shade or the dark brown. And I just go ahead and fill in my eyebrows using a dual-ended brow brush that I got from Glow Minerals. If you're unfamiliar with them, you might want to check them out. They have a lot of really neat stuff. And you just want to continue filling it in until you get it even. Once I feel like my brows are pretty even, I like to take my spoolie brush again and just brush through them, comb them out, straighten anything I might have moved with my brow brush, and just kind of blend out the color. I'm just going to apply my mascara. I like to use Maybelline's The Rocket Mascara. The brush is kind of funky, but the formula and the way the brush is, I just like the look it gives my lashes. I know some people don't like this mascara, but I really like it. It's very buildable for me, and it spreads out my lashes in a way that most other ones don't. And then you don't want to forget the lower lash line, so make sure that you do that. This brush is a little awkward, but you get used to it. Now we can't forget our lips. Now I'm just applying just a plain lip gloss, and this gloss I believe I got from Coastal Scents, and I believe it's shade Pucker, which is just clear. I don't want to add too much color, but if you wanted to use like a nude lip color, that would be perfect for this natural look. And now your makeup is complete, so you just want to style your hair. Me, I'm just wearing it straight today, and the natural look is complete. Thank you for watching. Here's the finished look. If there's any makeup looks that you'd like to see, just let me know. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.